Hi all, as promised, we are back for Tech Tuesday. This week we're going to do things a little bit different. I do have a screen recording going on. I just want to go over today of the Geo Tax ID and Parcel ID of the properties and listings that we have currently listed in the MLS on Matrix. So lots of you have had questions about what exactly the tax Geo ID is. Mind you, this is not a new field. We've had this one for a really long time. But we do want to reiterate that our new systems, including the listing data checker and others, do scan for inaccuracies and as well as redundancies. So put simply, the importance of the tax Geo ID is to provide listing history for every single one of the properties that you input. However, if you input properties that all have the same Geo ID, which is not supposed to happen, you will see a redundancy in history. So for example, every tax Geo ID is unique to each property, so they are all very long. Some of them have extremely very weirdly set digits and sets of numbers. However, I have been seeing that many of you do use the number 1, and unfortunately that creates a lot of redundancy for other listings. Basically, all your listings get tied up together with histories of other properties that have nothing to do with each other. So we don't want that to be happening, and including throwing off your averages as a salesperson. So as you can tell here, these MLS numbers all belong to tax Geo ID 1, which doesn't make any sense because these are all completely different properties. And essentially when you do this, each one of those properties will have the data corrupted and does not show properly for you. As agents, you want to be sure that you have the absolute best data out there to serve your clients. So to be put simply, the best way to prevent any errors like these happening is just to simply grab the Geo ID from the properties in the either Hidalgo County Appraisal District or whatever appraisal district entity you are working with. So for example, I always like to use the GMAR building as a starting point. So we'll do the address and let's see what comes out. Trying to type with one finger here. Okay, great. So now you can see that the Geo ID for the property is right here. This series of numbers is what's going to go back on our matrix screen to be sure that we enter it properly. You want to paste it on here and it'll match it. Of course, that's not it. But once you paste it in there, it'll tie up the history of all of that property with that specific Geo ID. Since it's unique, it'll be the only property to have that available. Of course, we also do have the other types of yes, you can tell TBD is being used quite often. So what our MLS will be working on this year is for some data reconnaissance, because naturally all of these properties are different and they exactly don't have a Geo ID of TBD. So the best thing you could do for the TBD field is try to get the tax Geo ID updated as soon as you get it from the appraisal districts. Otherwise, they could turn into infractions, and we don't want that to happen. As you can tell, so a lot of the data that gets posted sometimes gets withdrawn, which is not really a problem, but you want to be sure that if you do have an active listing and you eventually get a Geo ID, you publish it as soon as possible. So if you take a look, for example, at one of the properties that do have a TBD that are active, you could see there are several on here. Not gonna try to bully anybody or try to call anybody out. As you know, we all understand that the industry is moving very quickly, and sometimes the legal entities that we work with don't have the speed that the real estate industry has, including the appraisal districts. So for example, if we do take a look at a couple of these properties, I'm going to try not to get too much of the listing agent information on here. You can tell all of these have history on them. And mind you, these are all completely different transactions, different listings, different properties. They are not the same. However, because the tax Geo ID was typed in as TBD, it'll create that discrepancy and it'll corrupt the data So the best thing to do is try to be as unique as possible with these, or consult with us here at the MLS department. We like to help our members find the answers to be able to properly fill all the data fields available for Matrix. Again, this was a great segue to the new year. Learning something new is different and it's difficult for some, but we are here to help, and we hope that you can count on us to continue to keep educating our members about how to use Matrix, how to fill out the MLS fields. That way we can have the best data possible for all of our members, our clients, and everybody else. Again, thank you so much for watching. This was Techie Tuesday, and we'll see you maybe next week, maybe this Thursday, depending on how our week goes, okay? Have a great one.